Sunday night action then. It comes in the form of Gujarat Titans taking on the Chennai Super Kings. What's this match preview with Dirk Nannes, which just starts right now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Avnish Hegde, and we're here to preview yet another game. It feels like I've just done this for all eternity, but nevertheless, we have to, of course, proceed with a smile and Dirk Nannes on the screen right now. Dirk, how are you?
Excellent, thank you. Good to be with you.
Yeah, likewise. Now, it makes me think about this compelling fixture. You talk about Gujarat Titans, everything's been right for them in terms of their captain also kind of leading from the front, and then Chennai Super Kings. We'll start with the former in Gujarat, and their captain in particular. He's been kind of carrying this team in all four departments. Is that fair to say, Dirk?
I don't know necessarily if he's carrying the team. We look back prior to that previous game and we were being a little bit critical of him about his strike rate and thinking that, maybe he's not delivering what he used to do. There's no mistake he is having a stellar tournament so far, but I think he's being pretty well supported. I think maybe they need a bit more contribution out of a fifth bowler. Like all teams, I think everyone's fifth bowler is getting tapped around the park. But the batting's been pretty good, shared around all right. Sometimes batting's hit and miss in T20. So I think his performances have been fantastic, but I think it has been a bit of a team performance. I don't think we can be too critical of everyone else around him.
Yeah, many people have their doubts about Hardik Pandya in terms of being the all-rounder, let alone the captain, and he's batted beautifully. We can take a look at a few numbers right now. 5 innings, over 200 runs, a great average, a great strike rate, so you can't really ask for more. And even he's chipping in with regards to the bowling aspect of things, albeit not an abundance of wickets, but still doing the job whenever required. How do you rate him as a captain? I know it's still early days, we're just 5 matches in, but does he give you an impression of someone that you've been under previously in your career?
I think tactically he's very sound. He actually reminds me, body language wise, of Aaron Finch. Surprisingly enough, almost cold in a way. However, if you get behind closed doors and if you listen to the way other people talk about Hardik Pandya, they talk about how much he is for the team, and that's exactly what Aaron Finch is. Sometimes he comes across a little bit cold on the field and aggressive and doesn't quite give that, the ebbs and flow of the game where you're emotional in the game. He doesn't give that away too much. But I think I think at heart he's got the team number one, and that's the way everyone else sort of talks. And that really reminds me of Aaron Finch.
Yeah, and he has a great support of Gary Kirsten too. So maybe he's just kind of taken to captaincy like a duck to water, but there's of course still lots to play for in IPL 2022. Let's talk about Chennai Super Kings then, because a man who's missing this tournament, and it's confirmed now, is Deepak Chahar. Now, how much of a difference would he have made if he was not injured, Dirk, according to you? Because he's a new all bowler, all right, but at the end of the day, do you think he would have actually made the difference for the Super Kings?
He would make a huge difference. They've been searching for bowlers. I was going through the numbers. They've bowled 11 bowlers already in this tournament. That's just extraordinary. It's okay to have all rounders, but really they're just chopping and changing. Only 2 bowlers have played in all 5 games. That's remarkable. They're just trying to find the right combination. Mukesh Chowdhury's taken 2 wickets in a power play. Overall in the whole comp, they've taken 4 wickets in the power play. I mean, that's terrible, frankly. And so they're chopping around, trying to change, trying to find what they've tried. Jordan, they've tried Mill, Deshpande, they've all tried. No one's been great. So they're looking for that someone that they can give the ball to in the power play and swing the ball around and try and take wickets. He went for 14 crore in the auction. So clearly they're asking him to be a massive part in this team. And you just can't lose a player like that and still be effective. It means you're starting to go to your 5th, even 6th bowlers from your squad, and that's probably asking too much.
It is asking too much, but what has that win done over RCB for the Chennai Super Kings? Because 23 runs at the end, but nevertheless, their first points in IPL 2022, How much of confidence would they take from that going into the games ahead, you feel?
Oh, they'll take some relief. I don't think it's. I think it's paper over the cracks. I don't think they're a shadow of what we've seen them in recent years. But they've still shown they can put on big scores. A concern for me is the way they're not sharing their runs around. Something's got to change. Gaikwad's when he's averaging 7 across 5 hits. Going at, I think he's striking at 85 or something like that. Those sorts of things. You need everyone in your top order to carry the load because not everyone's going to fire at the same time. So you need all 6 at varying times to be able to fire. It's just not happening for them. They've got 3 players who are averaging over 21, and one of them's Dhoni, who's batting 6 or 7. So I don't think there's any secrets that things aren't working for them, and one game isn't going to paper over all the problems that they've got.
Makes you think about how it's going to all unfold on Sunday night, that is, and whether it's 2-2 for CSK. Now, we spoke about Deepak Chahar slightly earlier. I'm going to ask you about another prominent pacer up front, and that's Mohammad Shami. Now, come the World Cup down under, Dirk, let's assume that Bumrah and Harshal are locked in the playing 11. What should India prioritize for their third pacer option? Because a swing bowler, a left-arm pacer, if it is a swing bowler, then who would it be? Shami or would it be Bhuvi? How would you kind of assess that?
I would take Shami. I think he's been out in Australia and performed pretty well. I like that hit the length, hit the top of off stump type bowling that Shami does bring, where he hits the seam and you really, I guess in Australia it's a different type of bowling that you need to do, sort of a crash the wicket, hit the top of the stumps. We saw Siraj perform really well in Test series when he came out here and carry that Indian side in that most recent series in Australia. And that's the sort of thing that Shami brings, but he brings it on a more consistent basis than Siraj. So he's the type of player that I think they should take. I think he's exceptionally skillful, and his accuracy, I find, is something that's really important.
Okay, so just quickly then, if Deepak Chahar is fit for the World Cup, would you take Shami or Chahar, especially in the power play?
Depends how much run-in of form he's had. It's really hard to say. I mean, skipping a whole IPL with a back issue, it's got to be something that's not quite right. That's you don't miss with a back problem and just miss out on get ruled out a week or 2 weeks into a tournament and have it just be right suddenly in a month. That backs tend to be really long-term problems, and I just hope that he's all right and fit and firing and on all cylinders by then, and has bowled well enough before that to really warrant selection and have a good old-fashioned shootout. Why not take them both? Take them both, take 16, 7, take 18 people and have a shootout when you get there.
I mean, I honestly think that could be a good proposition from you, because look, the luxury that they have right now in terms of the pace options, given the fact that Australia, of course, you need to play that 3, potentially 1 sort of combination. We'll see how that story kind of really comes together when the time is right. But let's just finish this match preview by asking you your predictions, because look, GT versus CSK is a real tough one to call, given that both these are coming on the back of the wins. Or do you think that GT are just going to obliterate CSK?
I think GT I think they're a quality team. I love what their bowling lineup does, but batting is in form. It's hard to see CSK can put it together and do it again. I just think GT are too good a team at the moment.
Okay, so let's see if you guys let us know in the comments below if you agree with Dirk or not in terms of GT. And speaking of comments below, it's Mr. Milestone to wrap up this cheeky match preview. And here is what Dirk Nannes is asking right now.
Who needs 30 more runs to reach the milestone of 3,500 runs in T20s?
Yep, you can let us know in the comments below. I'll give you a clue that this man is really good friends with Dirk. So we've kind of had that little subplot is there as well, just to make it fun for you guys to think about it back home. But having said that, it's enough of me and Dirk right now. But catch us, of course, going ahead in the season. And it's all on cricket.com. Until the next time, so goodbye. We'll see you soon.